Hey, hello everyone. I am Sourav Satyam, and basically in this particular video we will be discussing about React.js. Actually, it means like I had to revise something of React.js, so I thought that why not to create an entire video on React.js itself. Okay, I think Docker has started. I have to quit it. Okay, so so let us discuss something on React.js. For this particular video, I will be using REPL.it, uh, REPL.it React. Okay, so I will be using this particular link for compiling for it means like running a React application. In this particular video, I will not be setting up my local environment for React.js. I will be using the online environment, that is REPL.it, for the particular development. So let us begin with React.js. First, what is React.js? So what is React.js? If we say, then React.js is basically nothing but a JavaScript library. Okay, React.js is a JavaScript library. This is the simplest definition that you can ever give to a React.js. That is a JavaScript library. Then how it is different? Then the next question that arises, that how it is different from other frameworks or libraries of JavaScript. Like we have jQuery library of JavaScript, and uh, we have Angular as a framework of JavaScript. So so how it is different from Angular, basically? So because of its simplicity, you can say, because of its simplicity, because of its it means like modules, independent modules. That means like if you will find out, if you will figure out that when you are using Angular, it means like there is a multiple dependency that is being attached with the Angular. It means like there is module.js file, there is component.js file, then there is a view file, and if you want to write a separate thing, then you have to mention it within template, and then so there is actually bit complicated structure of Angular, while it means like in React it is extremely simple to implement it in React. So basically if you compare React and Angular, you will find that the learning curve of Angular is too high comparative to React, because React is very simple to get started with. And yeah, of course there is a JSX syntax, so that make it very fast. It means like JSX is it means like when you will expand JSX, then it will stand for JavaScript XML. So JavaScript XML is comparatively fast compared to it means like other syntax HTML same, because JSX is actually using the virtual DOM and Angular is using the real DOM. So we will come together on all these things in this particular video, but before that, it means like let me show you that how, if you want to set up a React application in your local machine, then how can you set up a React application in your local machine. So it is quite simple. So what you have to do is you have to open the command prompt from here. Okay, so so you have to open the command prompt from here. So now after opening the command prompt, there is a global dependency that you have to install. So you will say create React app and npm. Okay, so here it is, create React app npm, and if you will find out that the weekly download is around more than like I think 1 lakh, yeah, 1,20,380 weekly downloads. So of course this is a very popular library. Okay, and to the strange, if you will find out the weekly downloads of Lodash, okay, you will see that the popularity, you will can figure out what is the popularity of Lodash. You can see that there is around 3 crore, okay, around 30 million weekly download of Lodash. So it means like day by day the popularity of Lodash is getting higher. So, and of course because of its extreme complicated thing can be handled in Lotus using simply it means like with simplicity. So that is the reason why Lotus is very popular. Okay. Now moving forward to this REPL.it, it means like when you will install the global dependency create React app using command. So you see here is the command, but it will not install globally. It means like when you will run npm I create React app, so it will install locally in your machine, in your PC, and when you will put a flag of -g, then it will install it globally. So as soon as you will install the global create React app command, then you will get access to, it means like create React app in your local machine. It means like you will get the access of create React app command in your command prompt globally. Then what you have to do, you have to just type create React app and then a space and then project name. So it will install all the particular dependencies that is being needed for your React application. So I will mention the particular command in the description of in the description of the video. You can follow the particular description and you will get the same particular structure here. It means like you will get the similar structure of file. Now you will get the similar structure of file, but only one thing will be missing from here, that is node modules. So that node modules will be available, you cannot find it here right now. The reason is quite simple, that the reason is like this is how they have designed their website REPL.it. But what happens that when you will go through the package.json file, then the entire dependencies, first of all let's try to understand the package.json. So we provide the name, we provide the version and all the different dependencies that is needed to be installed, and dev dependencies are the particular dependencies that is being needed for your particular project, while the dependencies are the global dependencies that is being needed for your for entire project, or there is something that is being needed out there. So here is the dependencies module. Okay, so all the particular dependencies is present here. So as soon as you will type the command npm space I, then it will install all the particular dependencies that is being mentioned within the dependencies section. And then you have a script. So script can be used something like npm start, npm run build, npm test, npm eject, npm run eject, npm run test or something. So using this you can just use these all particular commands to run your React application. Then I think that this is .REPL.it. This is like its own command. So and then there is the git ignore file. So while pushing to git, ignore these particular modules. So this is what that means. And then you have source file, you have app.js file is here. So app.js file is basically nothing but the entry point of your application. Okay, actually the entry point is main.js. Okay, here it is. So entry point is like here index.js, where your app is being rendered to root id. Okay, so here you can find that document.getElement by id root. So where this root is present. So if you will find out, then when you will navigate to public, in public when you will navigate to index.html, and you can find that root is being present here. And yeah, so what happens that when you will bundle the entire application, when you will build the entire application right now, then what will happen that your this part, it means like index.js, entire thing that is present inside the source module will get bundled together, and it will automatically being added to the index.html file as a script tag. Okay, all together it will form a JavaScript bundle, and it will be integrated here. It means like it will be something like this way. uh, just forget. Yeah, so wait a second, it is downloading the file. Let the download gets completed. Till then, let me explain you something. That if you will find out that here is the source file and here is the public file. So when you will bundle the entire application, so in bundle.js file, it means like index.html will be generated, and that index.html will have a particular source, and that source will be bundle.js file. Okay, so what is this bundle.js file? This bundle.js file is altogether a build file that is being created using bundling this source file. Okay, because you will see that root is present here, right? And then this root has been called in index.js, and app is rendered there. Okay, in the root file. Now let us try to understand this app.js. So in app.js, you will see that there is a header, logo and all. I just want to create a custom message that I want to put a heading tag, and I want to say welcome to React.js. Okay, and I want to close the h1 tag here, and I want to run this particular application. So you will see that it is running yarn and yarn start. So yarn and yarn start is nothing but, as I said, that this is the repl.it command. So they have actually fixed it somewhere, I think. They have made it somewhere, I don't know where, but actually you will see that here's the run command here. So yarn and yarn start is there. Languages Node.js. So of course it means like they have their own command that is being mentioned somewhere. So yeah, so you are in app.js file right now. Okay, soon as so you will see that here is the welcome to React.js code, right? Welcome to React.js. Now here it means like, now you have to understand the difference between a stateful component and the stateless component here. Or you can see that here is a function app, and it means like this is basically a functional component is said to be a stateless component, you can say. Yeah, of course, lots of pro will come here and say that okay, what you will say regarding React 16.8, where you can initialize the state as well using hooks. So we will discuss about these later. Okay, so first of all, try to understand between the difference between a functional component and a class-based component, and where should we use a class-based component. There is no generalized way, you can say. It means like lot of people prefer to write everything in a class-based component. Lot of people prefer to write everything in a class function-based component, and lot of people prefer to write the master component as a class-based component and the children part as a function-based component. So let us try to understand this, that when to use a function-based component and when to use a class-based component. Simply, we use class-based component when when you have to provide certain actions within a certain JSX element, or when you have to initialize a state or something, because initializing a state is very simple within a class-based component first. Okay, suppose for instance, let me show you a example. Okay, if suppose I had to write it in a class-based component, I would have mentioned class app. I would have extended it, extends react dot component. Okay, so I would have mentioned this, and I would have put everything inside the render function. Okay, render method. to be specific. So here is my render method now. So you can see, yeah, so here's my render method. So basically it means like I have converted it to class based component. Now you can see that I can make use of something called a state within this. So when I'm using constructor, so I'm getting an error here. So so must be called super constructor in the derived class. Super is for getting access to the parent, it means like parent property. So now the error has been removed and you can see welcome to React.js. Now you can initialize the state. So I can say this dot state and I can say title. I can say the title to be as welcome to React.js, something similar, right? So and I can use it here itself. So I can say simply this dot state dot title. So now you can get this dot state dot title as welcome to React.js. So but these all things cannot happen basically in the functional based component. Then you will say that how should we use a functional based component? So functional based component is something like this. It means like suppose you have a list of movies. Okay, so I'll say movies and I'll put an array with the different title of the movies. So I will say title, I'll provide a certain name of the title, I will add the certain name of the movie, something say Avatar. Okay, and then I'll put yeah, then I will put a comma and then I will put another name title of the movie, Avengers. Okay, so suppose I have two different movies and I want to render that particular movies within a particular div. Okay, and I want that div to have a red color or something. So for that case it means like while we have to render something, so we can use a functional based component like something like this. If we have this dot state dot movies dot map, then I will put a specific movie here and then I'll close it and just I will say return and I will be returning something called div and then slash div and then I will say movie dot title. Okay, so you can see that Avatar and Avenger has been displayed. Now what if I want these two to be on a certain specific design with certain borders or something? In that particular case you have two options. So I will say class name equals to movie palette. Okay, I put any name to it. It means like I put kept movie palette. Okay, now in app.css file what I will do, I will put something like this. It means like in app.css file, so I will navigate to app.css file. I don't need any of those, so I will put movie palette here and I want a specific color right now for movie palette. So suppose if I need the color to be as red, so I'll mention red. Okay, so as soon as we will mention what background color, okay, sorry, so we are writing this is right, so background color as red, so you can see that it has been red. Now you cannot tell the difference between both of them, so I will give a margin top of like 2px. So now you can see the difference between these two. So if you want to add more, then you can do something like this title, and then you can add another title of the particular movie. Say that particular title is like another transformer. Okay, so now you have three different palettes. So you have transformer, you have adventure, and you have avatar. Now what if it requires more design changes? It means like now there is certain other things that is needed to be implemented after movie. So suppose you want to show the specific movie details, so you will put a class equals to movie detail here. Okay, and you will put another div here, and you will display you put a heading tag. I will display movie details later or something. Okay, so you have two different things here. It means like here I have mentioned I will display movie details later. Now here also you will need certain CSS, right? So what you will do, you will navigate to app.css, and then in app.js file, what is the name of the class? Movie details. So you will use something like this. You will use dot movie dash details, and you will close it, and you will say something like color red or something, anything you can give. Okay, so you can see that things are getting complicated now, right? So this is not the reason why React has been developed. React has been developed to produce the independent modules that we can later hook to other places. So it means like when we are in the app.js file here, so we have a list of movies that is appearing here. Why not to put it in a separate component? So there we can there we can basically create a new component. So let us create a new component, and let us say this as movie. So I have name it as a movie, and I will say movie, or you can put a specific name, movie dot comp.js or something, anything you can say, it doesn't matter basically. So now you have to import something. So import React from React. So this is the first important thing that you need to do, that you have to import the React from React, and you have to create a functional component, and the functional component will be named as movie list. Okay, or movie, just say movie, because, or movie comp you can say. So sorry, so you have created a functional component and return the things that is being written there in app.js. So you have a app.js file. So I will copy this div class movie palette. So I will put this div class movie palette, and I will close the particular div. Now you have movie palette here, and for test display I will say yeah, so for test display I'll say test display. Okay, till now it is clear. Now I want the similar kind of design here. So I will navigate to app.css file. I will copy the movie palette part. I will add a new CSS. So I will say add file. I'll say movie.css, and I will copy this part, and in here I will import that particular CSS. So I will say import, I'll say dot slash, and I'll say movie dot CSS. Okay, now what I will do, I will import this entire file. In app.js. So I'll say import movie from dot slash movie slash movie dot com. Yeah, but you will find that here it is, no such exported component is there. Okay, because movie comp is defined but never used, so we have to use it. It means like this, movie comp. So I will say just default export the movie comp. Okay, so as soon as we will do that, you will see that our application will be running again. Okay, so here our application is running again, but what is the problem? The problem is quite simple. So that in app.js file, in app.css file we have removed it, but in app.js file we are using it, so it is overriding, right? So instead of putting the entire return statement or something, so I'll just return movie and I will close it. Okay, so as soon as, so you will say that there is a multiple taste displayer, right? So that I have mentioned in the movie component, that taste display, so it is displaying here. Now you will understand the difference between a state and a props. So here what is happening, that you have initialized the list of movies as in a state, and you can change the value of movie, but what will happen, that you have to pass this particular value to a specific functional component, then there it will receive it as a props. For example, I'll say movie I'll say movie equals to just send the movie, so I'll say movie, simple, right? I've sent the entire movie to movie. Now what will happen, that this will receive it in the props, so I'll say props. Okay, so now it is ready to receive the particular value as a props. But the problem is, so when you will do the destructuring of the particular array, so equals to props. Okay, now simply you can display the list of particular movies here in this way. So you will say movie dot title. Okay, so as soon as you will do, you will see that you are getting the list of movies again, but now you will find that there is no dependencies of this, right? It means like when in the next in future, if you want to use the same particular design and in any other places, or in your same project, if you want to use the particular design in any other pages, then you can hook this particular, you can just simply, it means like suppose here right now it is app.js that has been imported. In future, suppose there's other places where it means like you want to implement the particular design, like if you want to implement the similar kind of design here also, right? So if you want to display the movie name or something, so you can use it. It means like reusability has been increased because of it, right? So similarly, it means like if you want to change the design, like suppose right now you have something like this. Now you will navigate to movie.css, and you, instead of background color, you just change it to color. You will just change it to color, and the color will be changed here. Okay, apart from that, you can put it in like different shapes, different things you can do, like you can say font style, you can say bold, and the entire thing will be turned to bold. What happened? Oh sorry, font weight bold, so it will change the entire thing to bold. So you can do everything. It means like as it has been separated to a separate component, so you can make use of it. now suppose that if you want to display the particular movie details here, right? So you want to display the details of the particular movie, So like suppose you have this and you have certain description. So for now I will put a name only. Okay, to make a JavaScript object I will have to put a comma. So I will say avatar description. I'm not going to put a big description right now. I just have to show the particular demo here. So I will say avatar description. I'll say Avengers description, and later on I'll say description, and I'll put transformer description. So I have three different type of descriptions here. Now what I want, that on clicking of the particular movie I want to show the specific description. Okay, so there must be certain on click event that is needed to be defined for the particular movie, right? So there's two different options for that. Either to enclose it within a hooks element, it means like something like this, right? And in a fragment, so I have enclosed it within a fragment, and you can put a certain on click event, you can provide a certain on click event there. So you can say on click this dot display movie, and you can put a, you can bind it to this, and you can pass the second one as movie. Okay, so it is telling fail to compile, right? And what is the reason behind fail to compile? It is telling that unexpected token, so it means like you just have to put it within a, enclose it within a div or something, because it is not going to accept it in the fragment. So that is basically, that comes under demerit of fragment, right? And it is telling that cannot read the property bind of undefined, because I have initialized the display movie but I haven't initialized it within a particular function. So now the error will be moved out and it will display everything. Now here is my movie. So if you will see, if I put alert of movie dot description, then you will find the alert of different movies. It means like suppose it will get rendered and you can find out the different list of the particular movie. Like suppose I click on Avengers, so Avatar, so here is the Avatar description. I click on Avengers, so we have Avenger description. We have Transformers, so we have Transformer description. So I want to show the particular description list here. Okay, so just put nothing, but I will use something like this. So I will say this dot state dot description or something. Okay, so this dot state dot description, but description is unavailable. So what I'll do, so I will do a very simple task here, that we have this state, so I will put a comma here and I will start a description. So and I will put a default description as movie details. So now we have movie details as our default description. Now, so as soon as we will reload the particular page, I don't know why I have to reload it, but you will see that here's the movie details that we have initialized here. Now later on what I will do, I'll just simply put this dot set state as description to be as movie dot description, right? So now when you will click it, you will get Avengers, Transformers, Avatar, Avengers, Transformers. Okay, now you will see that the description is also needed to be different, right, in the different parts. So I will create another folder here in the source file. I will add a folder here and I will say movie description dsc description, and within this I will add a file, and I will say movie description dot co. I'm just following the convention dot js. Okay, so this should also be a functional component, so I will say function. First of all, the first important thing is to import React from where? From React, and then I'll say function movie description comp, and then you will close the function and just use export default movie description comp, right? Then simply you will say return statement here, and within the return statement I'll just put a heading tag, and I will just say description goes here. Okay, and I'll close the heading tag. Now that's it. So we have export default as movie description tag, and we have exported it. Now within, similarly we will do in app.js file. I will navigate to app.js file, and I will import, okay, I will import movie description from dot slash we have movie description, so I'll say movie description slash movie description dot com, right? So now I just have to hook this movie details where I just have to hook the particular movie details here. Okay, so I'll say movie description, and I can remove this particular div, and I can remove this particular div from it, and I can use the particular div where I can use the particular div in movie description now because I have hooked it. So I'll say movie description. Now it is giving error because we haven't closed it, so I'll say close div. Yeah, so now you will have a movie description, but now you will see that when we are clicking nothing is happening, and here you will see that description goes here, title is there. So similarly we will do the same thing as we have discussed earlier, that we will put yeah, we can do a destructuring as well. Simply we can pass the data as something like this dot state, or we can pass something like this dot state dot description. So now here in the movie details what will happen, that here it will receive it as a props, and simply we will say const, and we will say description, okay, sorry, equals to props, and simply you can close it and you can say description. Okay, yeah, sorry, I did something wrong here. So so we have in description, we have description now, so we have movie details, but on clicking you can see that the particular state is getting changed, right? So now this way we can now have two different we have two separate components, right? We have movie descriptions and movie component, where movie is for list of the particular movies and this is for the particular description of the particular movies. Now there is something, you can also initialize here the title. You can put a comma here, and you can display this within a particular p tag, and in the heading tag you can display the title or something. Okay, so you have something like this. So you can see that it is not getting changed, right? It is not getting changed. So we have to change something here, right? So what we have to change now, we have to change something like this way. We will navigate to movie details. Now in the movie details, right now we have kept this as a string. Instead of string, we will keep it as an object now. Okay, we will keep it as an object now, and in this description part, what we will update the movie. Okay, so now what will happen, that this will receive the particular movie in the description dot title. Okay, then what will happen, that you just have to do something like this, that instead of passing this dot state, you can pass this dot state dot description. So as soon as you will do a destructuring, so you will get all those stuff. So you will get avatar, and you have avatar description. You will get Avengers, and you have Avengers description. You will get transformer, and you will have transformer descriptions. Okay, now what will happen, now one thing we did here wrong, that we have to enclose it within a particular parent div. Now what if we don't want to enclose it within a parent div? So you can put a on click event here, right? So if you will put a on click, it will not work. Okay, so you will have to pass something like this: display movie details. Okay, so display movie details will get called using this dot display movie. So it will call this dot display movie dot bind. I will bind this event. Okay, so this will call this dot display movie, and when we are clicking, nothing is happening, right? So because it has received display, okay, display movie as a props. Now I will copy this particular props, and I will navigate to movie, and I will navigate to movie component now. Now what will happen, that now it has received the particular display movie in a props. Okay, so in a props it has already received. So here actually on click event will work. So I will say on click equals to, I will say display display movie details function will be called here. Okay, so display movie details function will call here, and we will pass the particular individual movie from here. So I will pass the individual movie from here. Okay, then you will see that it is giving us error, because it is not how basically this works. So I will say bind this comma movie. Now when I thought of clicking it, you can see that we are getting all those stuff, that is transformer description, Avengers, avatar, and all those stuff, right? Now you can see that we have hooked everything. It's like, now this one is also an independent component, this one is also an independent component. Now you will say that display movie details is dependent, movie is dependent on the particular props. So yeah, so as these all things are dependent on this particular props, so what we can do here, so we have to put our idea behind it, that how to make it more independent of our individual module, so that we can hook it to the other places. So we will discuss more on this particular topic in the next video. So I'm keeping this video short now. I think that I have already achieved 1 hour of this particular video. So in the next video we will try to explore more on the particular topic, and we will try to go through the React lifecycle hooks, React hooks. So hooks is being hooked in a function component, and lifecycle hook is available in the class-based component, and we will just compare both of them, right? We will compare the use effect hook. There is different type of hook. We will discuss about all those particular hooks in the next video. So that's all for this particular video, and that's it, guys. So subscribe the video and comment your thought that you believe that I should improve, and see you in the next video then. Thank you so much.